What exactly Deepseek is and why there's so much talk about it today. So first of all, it is a Chinese AI startup that was actually funded by a hedge fund, sort of as a side project, began in 2023. And then why is it causing so much attention now? Well, it introduced its new R1 model last Monday, a week ago today. There was some momentum building last week, and then it sort of exploded over the weekend and into today. It develops these open source large language models, and open source is important. That is different than some of the models that are out there. And it also says that its R1 rivals OpenAI's model O1. So this is something that people have tried it out and said it is pretty successful. It does have some blind spots, including those that have to do with the Chinese Communist Party. People have used this model, have said it will not answer questions. It either will demur or give answers that are not in line.
All right. So first of all, anything coming from China, you always have to be, you have to kind of, approach it with some caution. And the fact that it only costs about $5.6 million, as people say, you get what you pay for. And like I said, it's coming from China. You have to be really careful about, because it's a Chinese company and probably controlled by the Chinese government. And there are some regulations that Chinese company has to abide by in order to operate.
Reality, whatever the case, since it is open source, there is talk that that can potentially be tweaked by those who are using it for their own purposes, but that remains to be seen. The big thing here, as Josh alluded to, it says it is training this latest model cost $5.6 million, million with an M, not billion with a B. And that is the real revolution here, as we've been talking about, is that because of export controls, it apparently did this without NVIDIA's most advanced and most expensive chips in a much more cost-effective and efficient way. Now, again, these claims have not been verified independently, and there is a lot of chatter, which we're going to talk more about whether they really did this, whether they somehow got some of those NVIDIA chips through a back door, and that.
Now, the fact that this company, one-year-old company, disrupted the New York stock market, NVIDIA stock went down, I think, by a lot today. Let me see. I think it went down by 16% right here. So that is a lot, down $24, which is 16% of the of the stock. But for this company here, a Chinese company, to have this kind of effect on the U.S. market, the U.S. companies, it really speaks a lot about the power of the Chinese people. Now, they're really smart, right? They are brilliant at what they do, and their work ethic is outstanding. However, you have to be careful for this, the fact that it had this kind of effect on them. Now, even crypto went down, and of course, Bitcoin, XRP, all of those companies went down today, as you can see here on the right. That they went down, they dropped by a lot. Well, as an investor, it's a great opportunity. That was a buying opportunity, right? That's the buying opportunity that you were waiting for. And then because of this, you got it. So if you were paying attention, and I'm sure you probably would have capitalized on the red days, which is today. But the fact that it has that much power over the U.S. stock market, it's kind of ridiculous.
That's how they developed the model. So that's what's at stake here. Now, a lot of people have been downloading this thing over the past week or so as it has gained prominence. It was number one on the App Store. I think it still is at this point. So a lot of people are interested in this model, and it had some outages. Deepseek actually said it was because of attacks, not because of the flood of people using it, and it didn't have the capacity. It says, and again, we haven't independently verified this, but it says due to large-scale malicious attacks on Deepseek services, we are temporarily limiting registrations to ensure continued service. And indeed, it was limiting those registrations to people with a Chinese mobile number because there was such an increase in interest from outside the United States. And speaking of the United States, obviously there's also a geopolitical.
So they're limiting less Chinese people from installing it, but allowing other people, maybe the U.S., to install that sounds fishy to me, right? So, and of course, you have to be careful. The fact that you're not even allowing you're limiting the people of your own country access to this, the app for now, it says spyware in it. So you can't really trust these individuals here. You can't really trust China when they, well, you know what? I would take everything that they say with a grain of salt.
Here about competitiveness. We restricted these chips to China, and now China has come up with this large language model that is, at least on first glance, comparable with the ones that are happening here in the US. So what's the reaction to that? Well, David Sachs is the cyber and AI czar that was appointed from the White House, and he says it shows that the AI race will be very competitive and that President Trump was right to rescind the Biden executive order, which he says hamstrung American AI companies without asking whether China would do the same. Obviously not, he says. I'm confident in the U.S., but we can't be complacent. So we'll see if there's any kind of action that comes, or if it's more just a matter of not regulating this industry to try to foster.
I don't trust the Chinese companies. So like I said, today was just an opportunity for you to buy into crypto and to even buy Nvidia, because for the long term, if you believe Nvidia or Bitcoin or some other XRP or XLM cryptos that they have a long term benefit, then today was a time to buy.
Innovation. Josh?
So thank you for watching.